What's up, Gen Z? It's David here. A little more Bible teaching for you. Straight out of the basement of my house. Hope you enjoy this. I gotta roll up my sleeves for this. Because what we're about to look at here, man, is gonna be freaking madness. Madness, I say. Completely out of control. You might want to sit down because I know I am. All right. John chapter 1, verse 14. You ready for this? Here we go. And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. And we have seen his glory. Glory as of the only Son from the Father, full of grace and truth. Man, this word is a thick word. Man, this word is built up. It is founded. The content, man, is thick as the sea. It is unstoppable as the wind. Man, it is bright as the sun. These words are not the words of folklore. These words are not the words of commoners in a field fabricating for themselves myth and legend. These are not the words of myth. These are not the words of urban legend. These words rather are legendary. These words rather, man, they are stoked like the fires are stoked when these were written. For these words are solid. These words are trustworthy. These words, man, they stand the test of time. And when time is no more, these words, man, continue to fan the flames. And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. Who is that? Who is that about? Jesus Christ. The Word became flesh and dwelt among us. And we have seen his glory. Glory as of the only Son of the Father, full of grace and truth. You know, in a world where good news is few and far in between, you know, these words here are more than an anchor. These words here are more than a lighthouse in the storm. These words here are more than a stronghold in the midst of life's struggle. In 1 Peter chapter 1, starting in verse 3. Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. By his great mercy, we have been born anew to a living hope through the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead, and to an inheritance which is incorruptible and undefiled and unfading, kept in heaven for you, who by God's power are guarded through faith for a salvation ready to be revealed in the last time. You know, too often we look to set our confidence upon things that we can see. They might be things that we acquire for our own status, like a watch, an expensive watch to wear. That way we can look at it and we can see that we have status. We can see that we're important because we can look in the mirror and see our clothes. We can see the car that we drive. We can look at these things. And there, I think, is a propensity in men's souls to have, as it were, things to look at, to look to see that our security could rest in these things. But the problem with that is that the things that give us security, the things that are sure, the things that are trustworthy, the things that last and that endure, are not things that you can look at. It is not $1,000 watch. It is not a $60,000 car. It is not a $4,000 television set. It is not the threads, man, that we're clothed with. It is not the things that we look to for status, the home, the position. These things pass. These things pass. These things wear out. These things fade. These things grow old. And they stop working. And so the things, though, that do endure, the things that are lasting, require us to capture such things in here. They are held in the mind. Even the person that you choose to be ultimately is held in the mind in who you choose to be. And that which you hold in the mind will be reflected in what you do. What you value will be reflected in what you do. These are the things that you can look to for assurance. These are the things that will last. And it is these things that is the crux, that is the core, that is the foundation of Christian faith. What's up, baby? What are you doing? What you doing? It is these things that are the crux and core and bedrock of Christian faith. Man, they are things that must be captured with the mind. Your faith is founded in ideas. Ideas that have been shown. Ideas that have been proven. Ideas that have stood the test. Ideas that have been represented to us, have been proven to us, been shown in the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead. You know, the Bible makes great claim, makes great length to say this, that if there is no resurrection, then our hope is in vain. If there's no resurrection, then our hope is in vain. For the strength, for the quickening, and for the power, and for the hope of Christian faith, it is bought, it is secured, it is cord, it is bound with the cords of the resurrection from the dead. It's This guy was dead in the grave for 3 days. Dead. 3 days dead. You know, at that kind of death, you start to smell after 3 days. You're way dead. You're past rigor mortis. You're leaking, oozing, dead. And when Christ rose from the grave, there was no more smell of death. There was no more ooze or gel or goo or leaking fluid of death. For when Christ was resurrected, it was in power. And the smell of his resurrection was the smell of spring. It was the smell of life. And for these things there is in Christianity, this is the hope, this is the glory. For in a world that is short on good news, wonder why? Live long enough to see that good news is few and far in between. Live long enough to see that good news is few and far in between, and know therein and know and value the glory of the hope of the resurrection of Jesus Christ, and find in this a treasure and a prize and a high calling to which there is nothing else in comparison. Nothing else in comparison. Nothing compares. Nothing is like this. Nothing. You can go to the library. There are books of religion. There's this book, there's that book, there's this religion, there's that religion. None of it is in the ballpark. The things that Christ have done aren't even where the rest of religion lies. The things that Christ has done isn't in the same plateau, isn't in the same realm. For the religions of men are earthly. For the religions of men are earthly. But the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead is from God. No earthly means rose Jesus from the dead. Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. By his great mercy we have been born anew to a living hope through the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead. Let that sink in. From the dead. Right, take it easy. Love you guys. Boom, next time.